This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday, almost the end of the work week, which is great news.
Yes, it is.
I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. Hello, early risers. It is July the 13th, and back now. He was either on a European cruise or home organizing his sock drawer. I'm not sure which.
Second was much closer to the truth. I actually had to take days off work in order to clean my office.
Wow.
Is that what it was?
It was that bad. It was that bad. Yeah, no, we had a great time. It was lovely. But I tell you what, boy, the rain machine kicked into full gear while I was gone.
Yes.
Yeah, it sure did.
Man, coming down in buckets around the Suncoast over the last couple of days, and today, no exception. It's going to come down hard and heavy this afternoon, I think. We're looking at the kind of last gasps of an old dying boundary, kind of trying to work its way across our area, producing a little bit of light showery activity earlier on this morning, kind of in the process of just basically falling apart as it moved over Charlotte Harbor. Other than that, I think you're going to look at a mix of sun, clouds as we start the day off. The clouds probably giving way to a little bit more sunshine as we head into the morning and into the afternoon. But then you notice all that cloud cover down in the other coastline and in the southern tip of the state. That's a little trough of low pressure that's going to be working its way across the state. And guess what? It's going to up our rain chances. Just when you thought they couldn't get any higher, look for a 70% chance of rainfall a little bit later this afternoon. Daytime highs topping out warm once again in the low 90s. Sounds like summer to me. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
70% today. Okay, pretty definitive. There's the roads right now in Manatee County. A little buildup there on State Road 64 as you head toward the interstate. Otherwise, all clear. Farther south now into Sarasota, we see a buildup on 41 northbound as you go from Proctor toward Bee Ridge. Otherwise, pretty clear. And our South County map will reveal nothing much at 5:02 on your Thursday morning.
Topping our news this morning, a warrant roundup by the Sarasota Police Department has led to a series of drug-related arrests.
Our Rick Adams has details of a crackdown that left 15 people behind bars.
These are the mugshots of the 15 people arrested last month in the city of Sarasota during a drug-related roundup by the Sarasota Police Department. There are men and women, and those arrested are all different ages.
We want our community to know that that to be able to go out there and sell drugs is not something that we're going to tolerate in our community. Our community doesn't want to see it.
The charges those arrested face include the sale of cocaine, possession of LSD, sale of spice, and sale of marijuana. PJ Brooks with First Step of Sarasota says these arrests are a good thing with getting these drugs off the streets, but he tells us a lot more has to be done to get to the heart of the drug epidemic.
My hope is as those individuals are dealing with their issues and maybe are facing a substance abuse issue, that hopefully at some point they'll get access to care.
Brooks says that in the 29 years that he's been helping people with their substance abuse problems, this is the most chaotic the drug crisis has been.
We're dealing with a continued escalation of behaviors and problems related to overdoses, deaths, child removals.
The 15 suspects arrested have a combined 269 prior felony charges and 317 prior misdemeanor charges. It's an issue the Sarasota Police Department says they will continue to tackle aggressively.
Really trying to get to the root cause is definitely where we need to partner with the community, family, our other non-governmental organizations out here that are helping.
One of the ways you could help is by assisting police in tracking down 25-year-old Khalid Polk. He is wanted for the sale of fentanyl. In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Well, the crackdown continues with the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office arresting 2 more men on drug charges after a traffic stop. Deputies pulled over Edward Jimenez and David Langford on Tuesday for a traffic violation at the intersection of Boniva and Maridale Roads in Sarasota. During a search of that car, they found meth, prescription pills, and drug paraphernalia. Both men have been charged with drug possession with intent to sell and were transported to the Sarasota County Jail. Jimenez has been released on bond while Langford remains in custody this morning.
It is 5:05 now. The fire chief in Northport is stepping down early next year. After 15 years at the top, Bill Taffy will retire in February. He spent a total of 45 years in fire service. The chief hopes giving over 6 months' notice will allow the city of Northport to find the right person to replace him next year.
I hope I'm remembered for setting in motion the plans for the future. because we've got a phenomenal, great group of young people ready to take over. And that's where I feel is the greatest advantage that I leave the organization.
As for Taffy, he plans to travel, be more involved in his church, and also do some side work for NASCAR. Sarasota County's top person also resigning. Tom Harmer will leave later this year to take over as Longboat Key town manager. He was the county administrator for 5 years. He'll replace Dave Bullock on Longboat Key, who was previously Sarasota County's deputy administrator. Harmer will take a pay cut for the new job, though. Not bad, from $208,000 down to $187,000. Residents of Palmetto who may have concerns of a federal nature have a chance today to meet with one of Congressman Buchanan's staff members. Gary Tibbetts will hold office hours today at Palmetto City Hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tibbetts was in Lakewood Ranch doing the same thing yesterday.
Two major Suncoast organizations are joining forces. The United Way of Manatee County and the United Way Suncoast are now one. The new United Way Suncoast will serve a 5-county region including DeSoto, Hillsborough, Manatee, Pinellas, and Sarasota County. As part of that merger, United Way Suncoast will handle all the back office operations, but program organization and practice will remain the same. Officials say during the process, no jobs will be lost, but instead both entities will now benefit from each other.
One of the strengths that Manatee County is going to bring to United Way Suncoast is its incredible work it's done in early literacy. It's something that we would love to see benefit the other counties we serve. In the same way, United Way Suncoast has had a lot of experience in financial stability work, helping families build assets, and we're looking forward to expanding programs in that area here in Manatee County.
The United Way will also maintain its Lakewood Ranch location. It'll be the new site of the United Way Suncoast. We'll have more on this merger and its impact on the community next hour here on Good Morning Suncoast. Well, this year was the first time in more than a decade that the popular motorcycle event Thunder by the Bay was moved from downtown Sarasota to Lakewood Ranch.
Yeah, big controversy. Now with new commissioners in City Hall, there's talk already of bringing the event back to downtown Sarasota. Our Dwayne Lindo has a closer look.
It's one of the biggest weekend events of the year in Sarasota, bringing in an estimated $9 million financially for the area. And for that reason, some were sad to see it go.
That's similar to the Chalk Festival. It's just one more event that moved out of downtown. And in my opinion, that's why you moved downtown.
President of the Downtown Merchants Association, Ron Soto, agrees, saying he typically doesn't do a lot of business during that weekend, but is still looking for the event to come back.
It's what happens to all the other businesses. The restaurants, the hotels, the local bars, they all do extremely well. It's a big impact for downtown.
It's important for taxpayers to understand that Thunder by the Bay does not require any subsidies from the city of Sarasota.
An event paid for by the organizers Suncoast Charities for Children, according to City Commissioner Hagan Brody, who has been on the front lines trying to get the event back in the city.
One of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do we maintain our sense of community, our small town feel as we grow? These events is how we do that.
Some just say those in favor outnumber those who are opposed and are just looking forward to the event being in the city next January.
I think if the city could do that, it would be tremendous. It's once a year. I realize some people live in the high rises and are not fans. I think it's needed for downtown, and it adds to the vibrancy of the city.
Dwayne Lindo, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
We're learning more about that new MTV reality show that airs later on this month called Siesta Key. According to published reports, the local millionaire behind 1-800-ASK-GARY paid a production company to film his son and his friends for a few weeks last year. They then sent that to various networks, and guess what? MTV liked what they saw. We spoke with Gary's son about having his own reality show.
I like the Siesta Key lifestyle, from going to the beach, on the boat, going out partying, enjoying the town. I don't know, just, it's, you know, there's drama, there's love stories, there's breakups, there's a bunch of everything, a little bit of fishing. I mean, that's what I'm most passionate about, so we definitely hit that, and just kind of the day in the life on Siesta Key.
Siesta Key premieres on MTV on July 31st at 10 p.m.
A new FDOT study is looking at solutions to traffic congestion and parking problems on Suncoast beaches. The Barrier Islands traffic study is looking to improve parking, walking, and driving from Anna Maria Island to Lido Key. Phase 1 of that study took a look at 15 other studies completed over the last decade and combined all of that information and possible solutions together. That phase has just wrapped up. Now it's on to Phase 2, which includes considering options like water taxis, paid parking, and park and ride.
I think it could be efficient, but I probably wouldn't use it just because of the inconvenience of having to leave my car over there and not having access to it unless I get a shuttle back.
Phase 3 will be when an actual plan is put in place. That's expected to happen by the fall of 2018. The national nonprofit Keep America Beautiful is teaming up with Keep Manatee Beautiful to end cigarette litter in a creative and interactive way. The group placing an oversized trash receptacle voting system that allows the user to vote on predetermined questions by choosing one of 2 slots to then dispose of their cigarette butts. This Friday at 8 a.m., Keep Manatee Beautiful in the city of Bradenton will be installing these receptacles at 7 different locations. Those include 21st Avenue near Blake Medical Center, Barca Rota Boulevard, Green Bridge Riverwalk, 2 at Rossi Park, and the Butterfly Garden parking lot at the Riverwalk, and also 1 near Manatee Memorial. The receptacles will be customized and can be changed to reflect local interests or timely topics.
A group of local eye surgeons are once again giving their time in a project called Mission Cataract. Doctors and staff from the Center for Sight in Sarasota will perform 100 surgeries for patients who can't afford treatment. This is the 25th year they've done this. Each surgery takes between 2 and 20 minutes. The chief surgeon, Dr. David Shoemaker, says he and his staff feel compelled to give back to the community that's helped make their practice a success.
We do Mission Cataract because we feel we have a responsibility to give back, and we're in a position to do that. I don't think that anybody should be walking around blind or visually disabled due to a surgically correctable condition. We're here, we have all the assets, and we can do it.
Dr. Shoemaker says they've done more than 1,000 free surgeries over the years as a part of this project. More surgeries, by the way, are set for next Wednesday. There's our contact information right there. And if you'd like to get involved in that cataract situation, you can apply to their office and see if they want to take you. And there's also our Facebook information as well. So nice work by the folks at Center for Sight, and they say it's the most exciting day of the year for them to give back to some people who can't afford eye treatment, and they can solve it in a few minutes for them.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing to do.
Great project.
Very nice thing to do. I understand that if you have cataracts and have them removed, it's just an amazing experience to wake up out of this surgery. Well, they don't put you to sleep, but to come out of the surgery and be able to see again.
I would think
could
so.
imagine,
Amazing.
yeah.
I mean, it's really dramatic. We have some pretty dramatic weather heading our way this afternoon. Again, showers and thunderstorms building. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a local festival that's sure to leave you laughing. We'll have details in this week's In the Spotlight.
And later in the hour, a possible break in the case involving 4 missing men near Philadelphia.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the 2nd leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota flooring.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, as we start off the morning, we're looking at an air temperature of 74 degrees and a dew point coming in kind of steamy at 71. A north-northeast wind coming in lightly at about 5, but that easterly component of the wind kind of key to the forecast today because it will continue on through the afternoon and be breezy. That east wind shoves our sea breeze right close to the coast and won't let it move very far inland. So again today, it's going to be a warm one. Hit 93 yesterday. We'll probably get pretty close to that again today. Showers and thunderstorms, count on them. They'll be around. We have a little tropical wave that's working its way across the entire region, bringing us a little bit of cloud cover this morning. 75 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia, 74, Mayaca, 75, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch coming in at 76. Sarasota, as I mentioned, 74, 76 also at Longboat Key, 77 in Venice and Inglewood, and double 75s in Northport and in Punta Gorda. So we generally see that easterly effect of the winds by the direction of the radar echoes this morning. The showers basically are in the Atlantic waters and in the Gulf waters. There's not a whole lot over land at this hour, though we did get one little area of disturbed weather that moved across Charlotte Harbor, caused by a little upper level system combined with a boundary at the surface, and that produced a little bit of a shower there. That shower kind of in the dissipating stage over central Sarasota right now, falling apart basically, not much more than a little patch of drizzle in places. That's all we're going to get this morning for the most part. As we head into the mid-morning, maybe an isolated shower, but it's really by afternoon when the action starts to start just as it has over the last several days. Only enhanced a little bit, I think, today by a little trough of low pressure. That's our little tropical wave. You know, 5-6 days ago, that little tropical wave, when it was out in the mid-Atlantic, was forecast by some computer models to develop into something more significant. Never did, but it still has the moisture associated with its wave, and that's what's moving across the state today. High pressure out in the Atlantic directs our winds out of the east and briskly as well as a trough of low pressure back to the west advances toward the deep south, never ever making it to the state of Florida. But its proximity to that high pressure ridge will keep us in a breezy wind today. The trough moves across the state, enhancing our rainfall and bringing us excellent chances of rain again today. Forecast looks like this. This little trough of low pressure moves across the state. The moisture content of the air higher, and that's very visible by the turquoise colors on our water vapor imagery. But then if you look back to the east, you'll see this tan color. That's drier air. That'll be working its way in for a few days after today, and that will lower our rain chance. So got a little bit of a roller coaster ride in terms of our rainfall chances over the next several days. So here's what the forecast is shaping up to look like. Today, kind of a breezy wind out of the east, giving you a moderate chop. Our rain chance today at about 70%, so you can count on it. Most of the heaviest of the rain falling right near the coastline. Daytime high in the low 90s. Then over the next several days, we'll lower the rain chances just a little bit as some of that drier air begins to work its way into the forecast. Daytime highs will stay around the 90 mark or a little above. And then as we head into next work week after the weekend, will probably raise the rain chances again as we get another little shot of moist air coming our way. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, the bridges as you head into downtown Bradenton looking clear, as well as I-75. Biggest slowdowns really on 301 heading northbound rather, also State Road 70. In Sarasota County, looks like some congestion on Bee Ridge Road, also Clark Road, and 41 Tamiami as you head into South County. No congestion really going on throughout that area at 5:20 on your Thursday morning. Well, improv is red hot in theaters all the way from New York City to Mexico City and many in between.
And this week, some of the best are in Sarasota. Our Linda Carson has a preview.
In the spotlight this week, the Sarasota Improv Festival. This nationally acclaimed event is at the Florida Studio Theater Thursday through Saturday.
We're going to have over 35 performances going on, 23 troupes from all over the United States.
All world premieres, because it's the first time that these shows will ever be done, inspired by the audience. We're going to have improvised musicals. We're going to have an improvised Brothers Grimm fairy tale. We're going to have an improvised puppet show.
And among all the adult fare, there'll even be an improvised show for children called Just for Laughs. It's July 15th at 11 a.m., hosted by Alexa Eldridge.
It's a short-form improvised show, meaning we play a bunch of games with the kids in the audience, get them involved, take suggestions from them, bring some of them up on stage. So it's really interactive, really fun, and it brings the form of improv to young people.
And the New York City Improv Group will present the red-hot show, Blank the Musical.
They're an off-Broadway musical troupe, and they're going to put on a brand new musical that no one's ever seen before right here on this stage here in the Gompertz.
Improv is starting to look a lot more like theater, and a lot of directors like myself, we're trying to blur that line so that you can't really tell the difference between what is improvised and what is actually scripted. Blank the Musical does that, but with a Broadway musical.
And the group called North Coast will showcase another different type of improv.
On Saturday, they're going to do their new show called Anybody, which is their take on a Hamilton-style musical.
There'll also be improv workshops at the festival Saturday from 9 to 4. And sometimes there'll be 4 different shows going on 4 separate stages all at once. And as these improv groups return home, they'll carry with them what they've seen here, and the influence of the Sarasota Improv Festival will be felt around the country.
We take all of that back to our home theaters and re-inspire the communities we belong to.
The 9th annual Sarasota Improv Festival goes Thursday through Saturday, and the tickets are really going fast. So if you want to see these shows, you'd better get your tickets right now, because everybody's going to be talking about this for a long time to come. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
That sounds pretty fun. I might actually have to go check that out.
You saw one a few weeks ago, right?
I did. I saw one at the Florida Studio Theater, and it had my sister and I in stitches.
Yeah.
We were laughing so uncontrollably. It was pretty good.
That can be fun.
Yeah.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, KFC marking its 30th anniversary in China with a unique collectible. The item that's got some wondering what will be in this tech-savvy special edition.
And coming up at 5:30, President Trump is back in Europe for the second time in the same week. We'll tell you why he's meeting with France's president. Stay with us. We'll have that story coming up.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Record-setting hot weather means your AC is working overtime to keep your home cool, which can lead to high bills. That's why we're bringing in the energy experts from Florida Power and Light Company. Watch ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 this Tuesday to get your questions answered during the FPL Ask the Energy Expert phone bank. From free online tools to FPL's new mobile app. Learn how to save energy and money only on ABC 7.
From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in.
Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
Pretty shot of downtown right there, way in the distance in the center of your screen, Ringling Causeway. Pretty shot there at the Rosemary District in the foreground. John says a 70% chance of rain later on this afternoon.
Looks clear right now, but keep those umbrellas handy.
Right.
It's 5:26 this morning, and Verizon says there's been no loss or theft of customer information despite the leak of millions of customers' personal data online.
And Samsung planning to launch the Galaxy Note next month. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have details in Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Verizon confirming a data breach.
But the company claims no personal information slipped into the wrong hands. Verizon says the only person who got access to the data is the researcher who alerted them to the problem.
Samsung Note fans should mark their calendars. Reports indicate the Galaxy Note 8 will launch August 23rd right here in New York City.
The new phone is said to have a 6.3-inch display. Samsung stopped production of the Note 7 last year due to issues with exploding batteries. And there's already a scramble for this smartphone in China. It celebrates the 30th anniversary of Kentucky Fried Chicken in that country.
Woohoo! So KFC is the largest restaurant chain in that country. Only 5,000 of the phones are being made, so some are saying getting one is finger-licking good. Who wants to taste a phone? Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Insure.
The roles you play in life are part of what makes you, you.
Let's dance, Grandma.
And you're not going to let anything keep you sidelined.
Come on.
That's why you drink Ensure. With nutritious calories, 9 grams of protein, and 26 vitamins and minerals. Giving you the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. From the #1 doctor-recommended brand, Ensure, always be you.
Stanley Steamer is certified asthma and allergy friendly because we remove so many allergens, leaving your home cleaner and healthier.
That's why I call.
Call or go online for our $99 special.
Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
The fun shouldn't stop because of pain. New Aspercreme with lidocaine no mess desensitizes aggravated nerves for maximum strength, fast-acting relief with no odor. New Aspercreme with lidocaine no mess. Relieve the nerves, stop the pain.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, breaking news overnight from Pennsylvania, where 4 men have been missing. We'll tell you what police found and who they arrested.
Plus, one of the largest airbag manufacturers expanding a massive recall effort. We'll tell you why they're saying these are a danger to drivers.
And a record-breaking day for sales on Amazon. But what was the biggest seller? You might be surprised. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. It is 5:32 on this July 13th, Thursday. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi, who is back from vacation. Hey, John.
I am, and I am ready to get wet. It is going to be kind of a soaking afternoon, I think. There's going to be some big rainstorms around. We have, the typical mechanisms that are generally noted for us triggering off our showers in the afternoon during our rainy season. But in addition to that, we have a little tropical wave with increased moisture content moving across the state of Florida today. That'll enhance the amount of rainfall that we get, I think. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see some 1.5 to 2-inch rainfalls around today, maybe even more in some isolated instances. Right now, everything's pretty quiet out there. Morning commute should be rain-free. Mix of sun and clouds to start off the day, but you notice the deeper, thicker clouds over on the other coast and to the south. That's part of the tropical wave that will bring us today a good, solid 70% chance of rainfall in the afternoon. Talk all about that forecast coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
All right, talk to you soon, John. Let's check the roads. First off right now in Manatee County, we'll see a bit of a buildup on State Road 70 in the eastbound lanes. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. Nothing much to report. A little slowdown there along the Bayfront at the 301-41 split. And South County, nothing to report at this hour, 5:33 on your Thursday morning. We certainly had some breaking news overnight from Philadelphia. 4 men missing and now an arrest. We have details in this story.
A grisly twist in the mysterious case of 4 young men who vanished near Philadelphia. Overnight, investigators announcing they've found at least one of them.
And I'm very, very sad to say that we can now identify Dean Finocchiaro, 19 years old, of Middletown, as one of the people that was found buried in that grave.
The person of interest, 20-year-old Cosmo DiNardo, posted bail on an unrelated weapons charge and was out of jail less than 24 hours before he was rearrested. DiNardo was charged with stealing and trying to sell 21-year-old Thomas Mio's car after authorities found the car in a garage on DiNardo's family's property with Mio's diabetes medication still inside. Mio, 19-year-old Jimmy Patrick, 22-year-old Mark Sturgis, and 19-year-old Dean Finocchiaro all disappeared last week, and the search continues for 3 of them.
There are additional human remains inside that grave. We're not done yet.
A neighbor says she heard gunfire on the DiNardo property on Saturday.
All of a sudden, we heard this very, very loud boom, boom, boom. We heard it, we felt it. It was violent.
Investigators have been combing through the family's farm for days, sifting through soil, digging up concrete, and using a backhoe to search a roughly 90-acre area, even bringing in cadaver dogs before making that horrifying discovery.
Those dogs could smell these poor boys 12.5 feet below the ground.
A judge set Cosmo DiNardo's bail at $5 million cash, saying it must be paid in full and calling it the highest bail she's ever set. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Developing overnight, President Trump arrived in Paris for Bastille Day celebrations. French President Emmanuel Macron met with Trump shortly before 3 o'clock our time. The celebration also marks 100 years since the U.S. entry into World War I. The two leaders will also show how the two nations can work together. This is the president's second European trip in the last week. Of course, just last week he was in Germany for the G20 summit.
Meanwhile, in the U.S., dozens of major tech companies took to the internet to protest against the Trump administration's proposals to roll back net neutrality rules. Those rules prevent internet service providers from slowing down, blocking, or charging more money for certain websites to be displayed faster. President Trump's head of the FCC wants to repeal those rules, saying he thinks they were unnecessary and harm jobs and investments, while others disagree, fearing without the rules, big companies with deeper pockets could pay to create fast lanes for those who pay more, with slow lanes in place for everyone else.
Net neutrality allows those of us who go online to go where we want and do what we want to do without interference. Recent polling shows that this is not just a left-right issue. It's not that Democrats favor net neutrality and Republicans oppose it.
The public has until mid-August to have their voices heard before the FCC's final vote.
An expanding recall alert this morning on one of the biggest airbag manufacturers in our cars. The Japanese company Takata is adding nearly 3 million more airbags to its recall. Takata says a chemical drying agent could cause driver's side airbags to rupture. Faulty inflators have resulted in the recall of tens of millions of cars, making it the largest automotive recall in U.S. history. The airbags are in various models made by Ford, Honda, BMW, Lexus, and many other brands as well. Other consumer news now, Amazon marking a very successful day of sales online. The internet retailer says it was the biggest day of sales in its history. So far, it beat its numbers for the Black Friday last year and Cyber Monday combined. Sales were also up 60% from last year's Prime Day. The biggest seller? Amazon's Echo Dot smart speaker.
New details from a photo that appears to show the last known whereabouts of Amelia Earhart. If you remember, the History Channel recently aired a documentary just this past Sunday that claimed to possibly show a picture of the legendary pilot out on a dock in the Marshall Islands. But two bloggers say they've debunked that photo, claiming they found the same exact picture in a travel book that came out in 1935. Now, that's 2 years before Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan disappeared in 1937 as she tried to become the first woman to fly around the world. The bloggers also say the person that the History Channel thought to be Earhart might actually be a man. Critics, though, say the picture only makes her disappearance more elusive.
More than 100 migrants heading to the U.S. have been turned back to Haiti. It's the largest interception by the Coast Guard in the past year. They cut off the group 22 miles south of the Bahamas. Before being returned, all the Haitians received food, water, and medical attention. Over 1,000 Haitian migrants have attempted to illegally migrate to the U.S. by boat since last October.
In Florida, death penalty opponents are concerned capital punishment will start again next month for the first time in a year and a half. Last week, Governor Rick Scott signaled a potential end to the hiatus for the state's death penalty by rescheduling the execution date of convicted killer Mark Assay. He's one of 2 death row inmates whose executions were put on hold after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled our state's death penalty sentencing system was unconstitutional. Another issue in Assay's execution is the drugs used to kill him. New untested drugs will be used for his lethal injection after previously used drugs have expired. Opponents say the lull in executions show the death penalty is not a deterrent to crime.
Having had no executions in the state of Florida for 18 months reminds us all that executions are not necessary to keep society safe, and we believe that if non-lethal means like life in prison without parole are available without taking an additional life, then authorities should limit itself to those means.
Say was convicted for the 1988 murders of 2 men in Jacksonville. There are currently 363 men and 3 women on Florida's death row.
The final forecast of the year for Florida citrus is in, and it continues to not look good. Data shows the orange crop falling 16% in the previous season, which itself had been the worst in 5 decades. Experts blame severe drought, residential expansion, and the continuing fight against citrus greening disease. In order to help growers, the Florida Department of Citrus is proposing dropping a tax on each box filled with grapefruit from 7 cents down to 5 cents.
A not-so-perfect landing for one pilot in Broward County. The pilot of a small plane had to make a crash landing in a remote area of the county yesterday afternoon, which was shortly after making a mayday call. The single-engine plane ended up coming down on a dirt road that runs parallel to a canal. Luckily, the 2 people on board were not hurt.
And a well-known bottlenose dolphin in Suncoast waters seems to be doing quite well after rehabilitation. Scientists with Mote Marine say the dolphin Ginger was recently spotted caring for a newborn calf in Sarasota Bay. Great picture. This is her 2nd newborn. Ginger was rescued by Mote back in 2008, where volunteers spent over 1,000 hours rehabilitating her. Scientists say Ginger's 2nd birth is a very good indication of a successful treatment. It's like a painting. It's so beautiful.
I love that picture. How cute.
How cute is that?
They're pretty smart animals, too.
Yeah, I once read an article that said that they took a dolphin and recorded the sounds that it made when it had learned a trick that required it to turn right, left, up, down. And then they took the dolphin out of the water and put a fresh dolphin in that had never learned the trick and played those sounds back, and that dolphin replicated the movements of it. So apparently something maybe in the language has up, down, right, and left in it. I mean, pretty amazing.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting animals.
Pretty amazing. I don't know if subsequent research proved that to be true or not, but it's a great story. We have a good chance of rainfall later on today. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, how could your diet be related to your death?
Yeah, we'll take a new look at how your eating habits can impact your long-term health. Up next in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Record-setting hot weather means your AC is working overtime to keep your home cool, which can lead to high bills. That's why we're bringing in the energy experts from Florida Power and Light Company. Watch ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 this Tuesday to get your questions answered during the FPL Ask the Energy Expert phone bank. From free online tools to FPL's new mobile app. Learn how to save energy and money, only on ABC 7.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Oh, we start off today with a light wind out of the northeast and a temperature of 74 degrees with a dew point of 71. Temperature and dew point close enough together. It feels kind of humid outside. And across the region, a little bit of cloud cover has kept our temperatures fairly uniform from east to west across the region. 75 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca coming in at 74. So is Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranches at 75, as is Northport and Punta Gorda. 78 degrees Longboat Key, 77 in Inglewood, and 76 in Venice. So today we've got a little bit of an enhancement to our rainfall chances than we would normally see on a typical summer day. That is a little tropical wave that is just on the other coastline, gradually drifting in this direction. Now, we did have one little lone shower that kind of appeared during the about 2.5 hours ago. Moved across the mouth of Charlotte Harbor and then kind of dissipated over central Sarasota. Not a lot going on right now. And your morning commute should absolutely be rain-free, but I think as we head into the afternoon, showers and thunderstorms are going to be a very good bet today. We have a couple of things going on. One, a little trough of low pressure located back to the west will advance and sink south into the deep south. Now, that's not a direct player in our weather, but it will kind of tighten the gradient between the high pressure ridge sitting out in the Atlantic that's bringing us our easterly wind, plus this little trough of low pressure in the upper atmosphere is helping to enhance our wind flow as well. So all in all, a good, strong easterly wind will develop today. Now, what does that mean? That means our showers will definitely be moving from interior sections to Gulf waters as we head into the afternoon. It also means that the sea breeze is not going to have much of a chance to develop today, so temperatures will again be warm, probably in the low 90s. Yesterday we hit 93. We'll probably get pretty close to that, but as this little trough of low pressure moves across the state, what we will see is probably a little earlier kickstart to our shower activity. So we'll probably get a little extra cloud cover a little earlier on this afternoon, and that may shave a degree or two off our daytime high temperature. But the rainfall chances will go up significantly. As that trough moves across, some bigger storms down in the southern part of the state where moisture is thicker, but there's no reason to think that we couldn't, as that trough swings past our area later in the afternoon, pick up anywhere from another inch to 2 of rainfall across the region. So good rain chances, sun cloud mix, then storms later in the afternoon, maybe a little bit earlier than yesterday. And then tomorrow, we got some drier air that's going to be moving in. That's going to reduce our rain chances for several days in a row. So a little chance to maybe dry out. That tan contour is that dry air at mid and upper level. So I think we'll see a little bit more sunshine as we head into Friday and particularly on Saturday. Rainfall chances good today, and then tomorrow we'll see another round of showers, but probably not as many. We'll put the rain chance at about 50% tomorrow. Today, though, we'll hold it at about 70%. Daytime highs coming in a few degrees warmer tomorrow, and then as we head into the weekend, we'll keep our rain chances lower, but next work week, we'll start to raise them up again. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Don. Let's take a look at Suncoast traffic this morning. Looks like some congestions on State Road 70 as you head towards I-75. Also 64 as you're heading towards the interstate, but 301 looking good, as well as 41 as we head into Sarasota County. Looks like some slowdowns on Fruitville as you head towards Tamiami. Also looks like some congestion heading northbound on that same road. Other than that, looks like it's pretty clear in South County as well at 549 on your Thursday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, could food be killing you? Oh my.
Oh my, good morning to you.
Right.
Janae Norman has more on new research that might provide a new answer.
A tasty burger, a serving of beans, a slice of pie. Could what you choose to put in your mouth really have an effect on how long you'll live? And if so, which way? Naturally, what we eat directly impacts our health. Unhealthy eating linked to diabetes, high blood pressure, even stroke. Healthy eating, the opposite. Now, a new study goes a step further, suggesting that certain foods may actually put us at risk of early death or save us from one. Researchers writing in the New England Journal of Medicine looked at data on more than 70,000 people to see whether what they ate increased their risk of dying before their time from any cause. Those with unhealthy diets, a 12% higher chance of dying earlier. But small tweaks like adding nuts or beans to your diet or decreasing red meat intake by a serving and a half per day can actually decrease that risk of early death dramatically. So think before you bite. Advice that's easy to swallow. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman.
Now I'm just hungry.
Well, makes sense. Eat well, you live longer.
Exactly. Makes perfect sense to me.
We'll update the day's top local news headlines next, and a hippo spending time with her parents for the first time.
We'll show you more on the adorable reunion when we come back. Stay with us.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
For the last 18 years, Samantha's Friends has been assisting people along the Suncoast who have been challenged by catastrophic illnesses or affected by autism obtain a service canine. We need your help. Please show your support by attending our annual Celebrity Gala brunch and fundraiser. Call Sammy Lee at 941-448-8558 for more information.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
It is Thursday morning. Looking toward a chance of rain today. In fact, John says 70% chance of rain later on this afternoon.
Yesterday was pretty bad as well. I mean, I was coming home from the gym and it was just downpouring. Oh, I couldn't even get to my car.
It used to be it would rain, then stop, but now it's hit and miss throughout the afternoon. Welcome back, 5:55 right now.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories here on the Suncoast today.
15 convicted felons arrested once again in a drug sweep by Sarasota police. This group has a combined 269 prior felony charges and even more misdemeanor charges.
Plus, Sarasota County's top administrator is resigning. Tom Harmer will leave later this year to take over as town manager on Longboat Key. He'll replace former county deputy administrator Dave Bullock on Longboat Key.
2 local branches of the United Way will join forces. The United Way of Manatee County and of the Suncoast began merger talks last year. They'll work out of an office together now in Lakewood Ranch.
Finally this hour, one of my favorite stories today, a hippopotamus family reunion at the Cincinnati Zoo. Take a look. This is Fiona, the hippo, born prematurely in January. We've covered a few of her stories before. Well, she got to bond with her mom and dad together for the very first time. The staff has been hand-raising Fiona after she was born too weak to nurse. The zoo says the hour-long introduction went well, and Fiona was born weighing 29 pounds, which was 25 pounds lighter than any other recorded hippo birth. And I urge everyone to go YouTube videos of Fiona because she's just so cute when she plays with her toys.
It looks like a painting, or at least a good filter on Instagram.
It looks underwater, almost.
Yeah, must be through a window down there.
29 pounds, huh?
Yeah, little thing.
Soon to be a ton and a half.